Comfort Systems. In fact, we have some of the year's best offers right now. We can install a high-efficiency Lennox AC system for as low as $99 a month. The hot weather is a reminder how an old, inefficient system just can't keep up. Let's replace that old system and start saving on your energy bills. With our $99 a month program, you can have cool, worry-free comfort for the summer season and start saving on your energy bills. If you just want an AC check performed, we will still clean, service, and inspect your AC system for only $99. Click on CharlotteComfortSystems.com. Total home comfort. That's Charlotte Comfort Systems.
On approved credit, 9.9%, 120 months. See dealer for details.
This ball is long gone. What a shot by Raffy. His second home run of the day. It's 3-0 Red Sox. His 21st of the year. 55 RBIs.
Red Sox radio the call. 2 more bombs for Devers. He crushes New York again. The Red Sox shut out the Yankees 3-0 on Sunday Night Baseball. The Bronx Bombers have hit the skids. They have lost 15 of their last 20 games. Speaking of All-Stars, the Phillies break a franchise record by getting 7 All-Star selections, including 4 pitchers. The Dodgers right behind them with 6 nods, including Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, and Will Smith. Padres and the Guardians each got 5 All-Stars. And Pirates rookie fireballer Paul Skeens, the first player to be named an All-Star the year after he was drafted. He is one of 32 first-time All-Stars this season. Earlier today in baseball, the Cubs shut out the Angels 5-0, but they lose reliever Colton Brewer to the 60-day IL. He broke his hand yesterday after punching the dugout after coming out of the game. Tough break. Rangers light up the Rays 13-2 on the West Coast. The D-backs behind Eugenio Suarez's home run and 5 RBIs beat the Padres 9-1. Brewers crushed the Dodgers 9-2. And the Blue Jays beat the Mariners in extra innings 5-4 in 10. WNBA, Angel Reese breaks Candace Parker's record for consecutive double-doubles in a row, 13 of them, albeit in a losing record. The Storm beat the Sky 84-71. Mercury edge out the Sparks in L.A. 84-78. The Aces, behind 28 points from A'ja Wilson, beat the Wings 104-85, and the Sun improved to 17-4. They beat the Dream 80-67. At Wimbledon, world number 1 Jannik Sinner through to the quarterfinals. World number 3 and reigning champion Carlos Alcaraz through to the quarterfinals. On the women's side, Emma Navarro stuns world number 2 Coco Gauff in the Battle of the Americans. She beats her in straight sets. I'm Pat Boyle.
You make the call. 855-212-4227. When you want to talk to us, call 855-212-4227.
Coming up on the Monday edition of the Kyle Bailey Show, Kyle's back in studio as we see if the Hornets made any moves during the holiday weekend, and we inch closer to the start of college football season. Tune in at 3.
The wait is over. Dell Technologies Black Friday and July deals are live. Check out incredible savings on select laptops and more, like the XPS 15, powered by Intel Core processors. The XPS 15 brings you the perfect balance of power and portability, plus stellar visuals and immersive sound. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics, plus free shipping on everything. Don't miss out on Black Friday and July savings at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Lowe's knows owning a project means owning the right tools. And during Craftsman Days, you can save big on what you need from a brand you trust. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of the V20 string trimmer or leaf blower for only $99. Find these savings and more today. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/10 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
As you know, summer is right around the corner, and for most people, that means more activities, more golf, more biking, more of whatever you love to do. But if you're dealing with aches and pains, your more could become less. This is why I'm here to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. You see, instead of masking your pain, Relief Factor's formula is designed to help reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug drug-free. And it's been a game changer for so many people. So let's get after it this summer. Let's feel good. Let's do more of the things that we love to do. Don't let pain keep you down. Give Relief Factor a try and save on your first order. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Help fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
If you own residential rental property, you are the one getting the late night maintenance calls. You are collecting rent and dealing with rental applications. You have to handle all the details for your rental. Don't you have anything better to do? I'm Joe Rempson, and at TR Lawing, our staff of professional property managers handle issues like these and more all day, every day. We manage the details of your residential rental property so that you don't have to, and we've been doing it for over 60 years. Learn more at trlawing.com.
Whatever you do, Fogel Insurance can insure you. Business owners, listen up. Get covered. Insure your equipment from damages and theft. Protect yourself and your employees from personal injury on the job. Fogel Insurance Group, a proud partner of Auto Owners Insurance, has been serving the Carolinas for over 40 years. Fogel and their skilled team will customize an insurance solution for your business and personal needs. Protect yourself, your employees, and your equipment. Visit their website and meet the team today at fogelgroup.com.
It may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
Summer's in full swing. Temperatures are hot, grills are hot, and the deals are hotter than fire at Omaha Steaks. For a limited time, get scorching savings on legendary flavor during the Hotter Than Fire sale at omahasteaks.com. Every package is carefully curated by the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks to deliver an exceptional experience, and they start at just $99. Plus, get an extra $10 off with promo code SIZZLE at checkout. From exquisite steaks to legendary burgers, premium pork to air-chilled chicken, Omaha Steaks is guaranteed to make your summer worth savoring. Shop the Hotter Than Fire sale today for exclusive savings on mouth-watering packages starting at just $99, plus an extra $10 off with code SIZZLE at checkout. This is a limited-time offer, so shop today before these deals go up in smoke. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code SIZZLE at checkout.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There is a tremendous price war in the term life industry. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man aged 45, non-smoker, can get $1 million of coverage for $75 per month, level rate for 10 years. Or a man aged 50, non-smoker, can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of $110, level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Term Busters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-smoker rate class. Exam required to qualify.
What's up? It's Walker Mail. Join Wes and Walker on Monday from 12 to 3. We'll keep you up to date on Hornets free agency and more. Sports Radio 92.7 WFNZ.
It's easily a restaurant we went to in Ischia, it's like a little island off of Naples. It was a hole-in-the-wall spot. It was recommended to us by the owner of the Airbnb we stayed at. No joke, it was by far the best bread. Forget everything else. We had like risotto that was great, some mussels that were good, bruschetta. I should know after 10 days. I don't know how to say it. I'm talking about the bread with the chopped tomatoes on it. It's so good, so fresh. That was delicious. The bread of the calzone that they served, like they had like little mini calzones, is one of the courses. The best bread I've ever had in my entire life. If I could, I would ship like 100 to my house Forget the cost. Does not matter. It was unbelievable. And the worst part was because it was like a 7, 8, 9 course meal. The calzones came like early. So it's like you want to have, I mean, I could have easily housed, they were small, 5 or 6 and called it a night. But it's like, more food's coming out. So you don't want to stuff yourself too early. So I only had to limit myself to 1 calzone. It was the best, like the single best individual piece of food I ate in the 10 days was those calzones from this hole-in-the-wall restaurant where it's like right off the road. You have to get like buzzed in. It's like a security gate that buzzes you in to get back here to this restaurant. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you've never been to Italy, could not suggest more. The food does live up to the hype every single time. No matter where you are, no matter what city, it delivers. All right, it's Ryan Hickey with you right here on the Infinity Sports Network. We're not talking food. We're talking the worst quarterback situations in the NFL. For me, it's the Cowboys. I don't see a team right now that has a worse quarterback situation going into 2024 than Dallas, because you have a quarterback that's good but not great in Dak, where if you want to sign him, even though it can't win you a Super Bowl, you have to pay him record money and basically have him be the first quarterback to make $60 million a year. If you don't want to sign him, well, then you lose him in free agency, can't franchise tag him, so he's gone for nothing. And even if he's not there, because of the contract situation, you have a $40 million hit to your cap next year. So I think for me, the Cowboys, they don't have the guy in Dak. They don't have hope for the future, and they don't have financial flexibility. Those 3 things are why, for me, Dallas, even though there are plenty of quarterbacks worse than Dak, Dallas has the worst quarterback situation in the NFL. 855-212-4227. Daniel's calling from California. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, good evening, Ryan. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Of course, man.
So the team I think that has a really bad quarterback situation is the Arizona Cardinals. They went 4-12 last year. Kyler Murray was average, great in college at Oklahoma. Kind of been average in the NFL. They got Desmond Ridder and Clayton Tune. I just don't see where their future is going to be the next couple of years with the quarterbacks that they have. It's like they're going to repeat the same record as they had last year, another 4-12 season, maybe 5-11. And then the other team that I think doesn't really have a future going forward, which would be number 2 and the number 3 worst teams that have a bad quarterback situation. Like I mentioned, Arizona. And then the other team is the New York Jets. The Jets, they have Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how much longer he's going to have, how good he's going to be this upcoming season. He got injured in the first game of the regular season last year. You have Tyrod Taylor, Andrew Peasley out of Wyoming. Don't know about him. And then they did get Jordan Travis out of Florida State in the draft. So they got Peasley and Travis in the draft. I just don't see those teams having a good future. They're just about right on par with Dallas.
Daniel, I appreciate the call. I'm with you. The Cardinals are a great one. And that's one I left off my top 5 in terms of the worst quarterback situations. If I had to redo it, I probably should include them because you're right. There is right now no hope for Arizona going forward. Kyler Murray, I don't think he has it upstairs. He has it physically. Even with the injury coming off it, I'm not that concerned about how he will be physically on the field. But like we saw when he got that contract extension, they had the for lack of a better term, the homework clause, where he had to study a certain amount of time before that was taken out. Like that was put in there for a reason. That was publicized for a reason. The Cardinals, I don't think, trusted Kyler to put the work in to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, even though physically he has the tools to be one of the best guys in the league. So they felt the pressure of, well, we have a talented guy, but does he have the work ethic? I don't know. So maybe let's try to almost peer pressure him, bully him into studying, and maybe that'll work in our favor. That was not an accident that was released. So that is I'm with you. That's a situation that you feel very stuck in if you're Arizona. The good news is for the Cardinals, at least with his age, he'll be 27 this year. It's still right in the prime of a quarterback's career. And at least because he's under contract, the contract, is it favorable? No, but it's not the worst in the league. At least you could trade him. At least you have the ability to where if you want to move off of Kyler, you can get something back, anything back. The Cowboys can't do that at all. I mean, you're not trading Dak Prescott before the 2024 season, and you can't franchise tag him. So if that extension is not done and he reaches free agency next year, he's gone for nothing. At least the Cardinals are able to get back something. I mentioned my top 5 in case you missed it here. Worst quarterback situations in the NFL. Had the Cowboys 1, Giants 2, Steelers 3, Raiders 4, Seahawks 5. Did get a tweet from Raiders fan whose handle is at RustyRaider70. So I'm reading this for the first time. I'm going to assume Raiders fan, he'll be a very objective and I'm sure agree that the Raiders have one of the worst quarterback situations in the NFL. He tweets at Ryan_Hickey, the number 3. Didn't you say after Josh Allen's rookie year that he was a bust? Because Aiden O'Connell has the same, if not better, stats than Josh Allen's first 12 games of his career. Okay, so forget about Aiden O'Connell. Now we're making Josh Allen comparisons and projecting Aiden O'Connell to be, if Josh Allen's a top 3 quarterback in the league, and you're saying Aiden O'Connell already is better than him, Josh Allen's rookie year. So we're projecting Aiden O'Connell to be the second best quarterback in the league in 5 years from now? Better than only who? Patrick Mahomes? Thought we have some objectivity. Look, I know it's easy to get sucked in. We're all fans of a team, right? So it's harder maybe to look objectively at your own team than another team. I get that. For me, I'm an optimist. I'm an eternal optimist. For all my teams, I really try to look at the positive because that just keeps me going as a fan, keeps me from losing all sorts of hope. So maybe I am nicer or more optimistic about my teams compared to if I was just a neutral observer. But come on. We cannot be comparing Aiden O'Connell to Josh Allen. And I've been a Josh Allen critic. I've been harsh on him. I said the day, because I was on the air, lucky enough, filling in right here on the Infinity Sports Network, the day he got his contract extension from the Bills 3 or 4 years ago from now, at this point, that was a mistake. They had one good year in 2020, but I thought the Bills should have waited one more year to make sure he could replicate that breakout 2020 season, do it again in 2021, and then pay him. Look, I've mostly taken the L on the Josh Allen, we'll say, criticism I've thrown his way. But even with that said, we cannot be sitting here talking about Aiden O'Connell and Josh Allen in the same sentence. Not at all. He's not very good. Minshew's not very good. The Raiders, despite what Raiders fans, Rusty Raider 70 says on Twitter, Raiders are in a bad quarterback spot. Tommy's calling from Pittsburgh. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, what's up, man? Love the show. Yeah, I just wanted to say, it's crazy to be talking worst situations, quarterback, and not bring up Cleveland. We're talking about a team that tried to completely change the market for paying quarterbacks, one of the worst contracts in sports history. And then, a guy that they paid that got beat out by a dude that was working out the YMCA to stay healthy. And Pittsburgh, sure, they don't have their guy. I can understand your argument. You got 2, then you don't have 1. But at least a major upgrade from where they were last year. Rudolph and Pickett compared to Fields and Wilson, it's a major upgrade.
Oh, Tommy, I agree with that statement. But again, to your point of when you're looking at what you had in Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph, yeah, even though you gone up, if you're still very, very low in terms of talent in that room. When it comes to Cleveland, why for me, I don't think they have right now one of the worst quarterback situations in the NFL is. I still think if you're the Browns, there is hope that Deshaun Watson can be one of the best quarterbacks and live up to the contract because he's proven it before. I know it's been a few years. I know there's been a whole lot of legal situations and a whole lot of time off the field in between when he was great with the Texans and where he is now, but he at least has proven over multiple years, he can be a top 5 quarterback. And so I still think if you're Cleveland, despite the fact that the first 2 years have gone as poorly as they could have gone so far, that you can have hope that things will turn around here in a positive. That's why, at least for me, I would not put Cleveland on a top 5 list right now. All right, when we return here, I want to talk about pressure in college football. Does Ohio State have the most pressure on them in 2024 to win? We'll discuss when we do return. It is Ryan Hickey with it right here on the Infinity Sports Network.
Celebrate July 4th with savings at Lowe's. For a limited time, save on the essentials you need to make your garden pop for summer, like Miracle-Gro 25-quart potting mix. Get 2 bags for just $16 and get up to 40% off, plus save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. Hurry, these deals won't last long because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Miracle-Gro excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details. While supplies last.
Because you want to hear bacon and eggs on your outdoor griddle, not the scraping of rust. Introducing the Weber Slate Rust-Resistant Griddle. Stays ready, not rusty, with a carbon steel cooktop, pre-seasoned and ready to cook on right out of the box. The Weber Slate heats evenly edge to edge up to 500 degrees. All you'll hear is the gasp of amazement from friends and family when you serve the food. Cooking with the Weber Slate Rust-Resistant Griddle just sounds delicious and tastes even better.
You like the idea of monthly rental income, but don't want to deal with the hassles of property management, right? I'm Joe Remsen, and at TR Lawing, we've managed residential real estate for individual investors for over 60 years. We take the hassle out of owning residential rental properties and make it simple for you to get that monthly income. We do the work, and you get the revenue. From Shelby to Charlotte to Albemarle and everywhere in between, TR Lawing can manage your residential investment property. Learn more at trlawing.com.
Whatever you do, Fogel Insurance can insure you. Business owners, listen up. Get covered. Insure your equipment from damages and theft. Protect yourself and your employees from personal injury on the job. Fogel Insurance Group, a proud partner of Auto Owners Insurance, has been serving the Carolinas for over 40 years. Fogel and their skilled team will customize an insurance solution for your business and personal needs. Protect yourself, your employees, and your equipment. Visit their website and meet the team today at fogelgroup.com.
We interrupt you with breaking news live from the Pepsi Wild Cherry aisle.
I've never seen anything like this. The bold, refreshing, and bursting with cherry deliciousness of Pepsi Wild Cherry is, well, let's just say everyone is getting wild.
Pepsi Wild Cherry. Go ahead, get wild.
In virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 800-527-4903. That's 800-527-4903. 800-527-4903. Again, 800-527-4903.
Paid for by Airtime Media. Do you have over $10,000 in credit card debt? The stress from excessive credit card debt can ruin your life. Collection calls, sleepless nights. If you're feeling the financial impact with unprecedented economic challenges, DebtBlue is here for you. DebtBlue uses secret programs that most credit card companies won't tell you about. They'll help you consolidate or settle your debts for a fraction of what you owe. With DebtBlue's Success Guarantee, you pay nothing unless your debt is reduced or completely resolved. There's no risk. The more you owe, the more DebtBlue can save you. See how easy it is to get started with free information. Let DebtBlue show you how 10 minutes could save you thousands. Call now. 800-200-6895. That's 800-200-6895.
I'm just living sky high right now. So I'm very thankful for it. And the team at DebtBlue are phenomenal. They're able to work with you. They're great.
Call for your free debt resolution information now. 800-200-6895. 800-200-6895.
Summer's in full swing. Temperatures are hot, grills are hot, and the deals are hotter than fire at Omaha Steaks. For a limited time, get scorching savings on legendary flavor during the Hotter Than Fire sale at omahasteaks.com. Every package chicken, Omaha Steaks is guaranteed to make your summer worth savoring. Shop the Hotter Than Fire sale today for exclusive savings on mouthwatering packages starting at just $99, plus an extra $10 off with code SIZZLE at checkout. This is a limited time offer, so shop today before these deals go up in smoke. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code SIZZLE at checkout.
Omaha Steaks, America's original.
It's happening in sports, and it's happening in Charlotte. It's happening here.
WFNZ FM Harrisburg and WLNK HD3 Charlotte.
The official home of the Charlotte sports fan.
WLNK HD3 Charlotte.
The official home of the Charlotte sports fan.
In terms of quarterback situations heading into this upcoming season. You can also catch that conversation anywhere you do get your podcasts. Hick at Night Podcast, Night spelled Nite. We'll get back to your thoughts on that as well, but I do want to bring up here pressure in college football in 2024. Because Will Howard earlier this week at the Manning Passing Academy really, I think, said what everybody is thinking. He was asked about expectations for the Buckeyes entering this big-time 2024 season. Listen to what he said would be success for Ohio State this year.
The things that we need to put ourselves in that position to be there at the end of the year, and now we just got to go do it.
That courtesy of HTV10. Will Howard is 100% right. And I'm glad he said it because it's true. It is truly national championship or bust for Ohio State in 2024. There is no way, no situation you could sell me anything short of a championship being a success in 2024 for Ohio State. Not with the way they've recruited, not with the way they've gone out and attacked the transfer portal, getting guys like Will Howard, getting Judkins from Ole Miss, the best running back in the country, bringing him to Columbus, getting Caleb Downs from Alabama, an All-American safety. Like, they have done everything as well as you possibly could have asked Ohio State and Ryan Day to do leading into 2024, bringing essentially everybody back from what was a dominant top 5 defense from last year, bringing them back this year. They should be the best defense in the country, if not number 2. They have explosive weapons all over on offense. There's no situation, whether it's winning a playoff game, making the Final Four, making the national title game, but losing, no situation you could sell me right now or paint me that I would call a success for Ohio State short of winning a national title. And I think for me at least, they have the most pressure the Buckeyes do of any team in 2024. They have the most pressure on them. They have to win anything short of that national title, especially with Michigan's recent success, winning 3 in a row over Ohio State, but also winning the national title this year. It puts even more pressure on the Buckeyes to win this year. We've played it before in previous shows because it was about a month ago at this point that Urban Meyer said it, but Urban Meyer himself called this Ohio State roster maybe the most talented he's ever seen. That has to result in their first ring in a decade. It has to. If you're Ryan Day, he's not getting fired if they don't win the national championship. They're going to have, equally as good of a chance to win next year. Ryan Day is recruiting at an elite level, so this is not like the window closes after this year the way I think it did for Michigan. Or Michigan, if they didn't win the national title last year, they wouldn't have another chance to win one for a while now going forward. They are going in a little bit of a reset here. Ohio State is going to be at the top or near the top for a long time coming. This is not the last chance. But with how much talent they have right now, strike while the iron is hot. And for me, it's never been hotter right now for Ohio State than this upcoming season. So they have, to me at least, the most pressure on them of any team in the country. I do, though, think, while it is national title or bust, there's one other team I would say in the country that has equal expectations, and that's Georgia. I would say right now for Georgia, it's equally national championship or bust, right? Kirby Smart, we've seen him set the standard, winning 2 in a row before missing the playoff last year. But now, there's no situation with Carson Beck back, with the talent they have on defense, getting Trevor Etienne from Florida. They have a lot of weapons, even though they lost some great players in the draft. They have a lot of talent. The way Kirby is recruiting is historically great. There's no dearth of talent in Athens, I can promise you that. But with how Kirby has set the standard, it's like Ohio State. If they make the national title game, let's say Ohio State and Georgia make the national title game this year. The loser, I don't see their fan base saying, "Oh, great year. That was an awesome year. That's going to be one of the most memorable years we've had." The loser is going to say that was a missed opportunity. We should have won that. That was a great chance to get another championship, under our belts, and we missed it. There's not going to be a lot of, I would say, back padding and a lot of use of the word success in either Athens or Columbus if they make the national title game and lose. For those two programs, and those two programs only, 2024 is national championship or bust. I'm curious your thoughts here at 855-212-4227. Would you agree with that sentiment? Is it Ohio State and Georgia in terms of the only two schools this year in college football that's the expectation is national championship or bust? And would you agree with my statement that I would say Ohio State is the most pressure on them of any school in the country to win this year? 855-212-4227. You can also tweet us, Ryan_Hickey and the number 3. Like when you look around, right, there are some great teams. And this is not a two-man race here in terms of Ohio State and Georgia. Texas is really damn good. Why, though? I would say even though they have Quinn Ewers and they have a lot of talent on offense, and that defense, even though they lost some big guys on the defensive line, they did a good job in refreshing that talent in the transfer portal. Even with the great year, the breakout year Texas had last year, making the playoff, for me at least, why it's not national title or bust is because it's now a 12-team playoff. I think if you're Texas and you make the Final Four, whether that's winning the SEC and winning a playoff game, or whether it's, playing on that first weekend and having to win 2 playoff games to make the Final Four, if we are talking about Texas in the Final Four or the national championship game they lose, I would still say a lot of Longhorns fans would call that a success. With past history, really since 2009 being very bleak and laughable, I think now, making a run to the national title game, even if I tell you right now, hey, you're not going to win it, but you're going to go to the national title game, I think a lot of Texas fans would sign up for that. I would say that's a successful season. That's why for me, I can't call it national title or bust for the Longhorns. Alabama, even though that has been the standard for Nick Saban, you got to let Kalen DeBoer breathe. I think he's going to do great. I think he's going to win a national title at Alabama. He's doing a good job right now at, for the most part, stopping the recruiting bleeding when a guy of legendary status like Nick Saban retires. I would say right now DeBoer's doing a very good job at keeping talent in Tuscaloosa, but now also doing a good job recruiting. He's a great coach. But for his first year, I can't sit here and say anything short of a national title is a failure. I mean, look at Nick Saban. I think personally, he did his best coaching job of his career last year just to get Alabama to the playoff. And so I can't sit here and say all of a sudden now the next year with some talent loss, with DeBoer still trying to get, his footing under him, that it's national title or bust. They won a playoff game. That's a win. They make the playoff. That's a successful season for Alabama here in 2024. Not going forward, not every year, but for this first year with Kalen DeBoer, you just make the playoff. It, to me, is a win. You look at Michigan coming off their national championship. They have lost a lot of talent. Jim Harbaugh left. I think that's a program that, again, it can make the playoff, but I see 9-3. They got a tough schedule, maybe even 8-4 for the Wolverines. It's nowhere close to national title or bust. I think the only other school we could bring up in this conversation would be Oregon, with how much talent Dan Lanning has accumulated in Eugene. But because him and Oregon have never made the playoffs so far, because they haven't even been in their conference championship. That's a lie. They were in last year, but they haven't won their conference, I should say. If they go into the Big Ten, if they win the Big Ten, if they are able to split even with Ohio State, they play one time in the regular season in Eugene. I right now would assume one of those we'll see a rematch in the Big Ten title game between Ohio State and Oregon. If you're talking about Oregon beating Ohio State one time in those two tries, in either winning the Big Ten or making the playoff, and you win a playoff game, I would say for me that's a success for Oregon here in Dan Lanning in 2024. I don't think they have to make the Final Four or win a national title. I think the bar is lower. If you can win the conference or win a playoff game, I think we're talking about Oregon's season this year being a success. So there are plenty of schools that have a lot of talent and big-time expectations. But I think when it comes to truly championship or bust this upcoming season, 2 schools fall in that category. Ohio State, Georgia. That's it. 855-212-4227. If you have another school to add to that list, if you think there's a school right now with more pressure on them in 2024 than the Buckeyes, 855-212-4227. Also here on social media, Ryan_Hickey and the number 3. Jeff is calling from Cleveland. What up, Jeff?
Hey, good evening, Ryan. Before I talk about this topic you're talking about, just real quick, memo to dude from Pittsburgh who called a few minutes ago about the quarterback situation. In the words of Stephen A. Smith, put the weed down. Okay, put the weed down. I don't know if it's legal.
Are you a believer in Deshaun Watson?
But Ryan, I'm an Ohio State alum. Okay, and I've been a fan since I was 12 years old in 1968. So do the math. I don't claim my age, but it is what it is. And it pains me to say this, but all you said is true about the talent, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm on record here locally saying, so I'll say it nationally, Ohio State will never, I repeat, never win a national championship as long as Ryan Day is the coach, because finesse teams do not win championships, and he is a finesse coach. That's why he got so upset last year when old man Holtz called him out, and he went ballistic after the Notre Dame game, the one we won when they had 10 men on the field. We still barely got the ball in the end zone for the winning score. And, you know, everybody wants to talk about his record. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not impressed beating Indy Crap or Crappy Land or the Crap Store, the rest of the garbage in the Big Ten that we play year in and year out. His record against teams of similar talent is 2-6. He's 1-3 against the team up north, and he's 1-3 in the playoffs. So that's 2-6. So when it comes to teams of similar talent, he comes up short. And I think Oregon is going to give us a run this year anyway. And, you know, even if they run the table, they go through the regular season undefeated and win the Big Ten title, they are not going to win the national championship as long as Ryan Day is the coach. He's John Cooper 2.0. Cooper used to get great talent too and never won anything, and that's going to be the same litany as long as Blackbeard the Pirate is the coach down there. We need to get Mike Vrabel as the coach to reestablish the physical play of Ohio State to what it once was, even up until Ryan Day, until Coach Finesse took over.
Jeff, I appreciate the call. I appreciate the honesty when it comes to your Buckeyes here. A few things. Number one, I would agree with your sentiment. This year, I don't think Ohio State has won the national title. I'm with you. I know the expectations are there. And again, I just said it's national title or bust. I don't think they're winning the national title because two things. Number one, I don't trust Will Howard. I don't think he's good enough to raise the level of talent around him, even though there's a lot of talent on defense, a lot of talent at receiver, running back, etc. I don't think you can win a national title when you have quarterback questions like Ohio State does, and you have, to your point, your main point about the lack of physicality from Ohio State, the offensive line for the Buckeyes is a big question this year. They have addressed a lot of positions in the transfer portal. They have recruited at an elite level at a lot of different positions. The offensive line this year is a question mark. And I'm with you, Jeff. I can't sit here and pick Ohio State to win the national title when there are concerns about their quarterback and their offensive line. No team in college football, let's say modern college football, has ever won a national championship with questions at both quarterback and offensive line. You can have one, and we've seen Alabama with Jake Coker win a national title. They also had an elite offensive line. You could win with questions at one or the other, offensive line or quarterback. You can't win when you have questions at both. To your point, so I'm with you. I don't think Ohio State's win the national title this year. Expectations are to championship or bust. I don't think they pull it off this year. When it comes to never winning with Ryan Day, that's where I disagree. Look, Ryan Day, you could argue is finesse. Fine. Does finesse win? I would say right now when you have all that talent at receiver, at quarterback, I mean, their defense is hard-nosed, so it's not a soft defense. I think Ryan Day is going to win a national title at Ohio State. One thing I would look at if I was you, Jeff, and in terms of how a Tiger can change their stripes, look at Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, for the longest time in Michigan, kept banging his head on the wall of trying to run a pro-style offense despite not having the right talent to do so. And so he tried to make Shea Patterson work. He tried to make Wilton Speight work. What happened? Anytime they played a team of similar or greater talent than them, they not only lost, they got embarrassed. Remember, Ohio State, I know it was mostly with Urban Meyer, but also Ryan Day embarrassed them as well with Justin Fields in 2019. They spanked Michigan. It wasn't just that they beat them more times than not. They embarrassed them more times than not. And so what did Jim Harbaugh do after 2020? Reinvented his style. Went from pro style to now just smash mouth and going to punch in the mouth and playing a bruising style of football. He changed his strategy, and it resulted in 3 straight wins over Ohio State and a national title. He changed his strategy after years and years of running the same system and failing. So while, yes, Ryan Day has not won the big game, he's not won a national title, he hasn't had many opportunities to play teams that are better than him. I would say, in terms of physicality, they looked pretty damn good against Georgia 2 years ago in the Sugar Bowl. Having that missed field goal be the difference between them winning the national title because they would have smoked TCU and obviously coming up short the way they did. But they didn't lose that game because Georgia was a bully, because Georgia was more physical than them. I thought they matched their physicality well in that game back in 2022. So I don't think they're as soft as you think. But I also don't think that Ryan Day is someone that's going to just keep on doing the same thing. He can adjust. Any great coach adjusts. And right now, for me, I don't think his style needs adjusting. But look to Michigan in terms of it's never too late to change your stripes. And having hope and belief that Ryan Day can adjust to do whatever it takes to win a national title. Jeff, look, you got champagne problems, man, all right? As a Penn State alum, big-time fan, I wish I had your problems. I would trade with you in a second. Ohio State's going to be fine. Going forward this year in 2024, I'm with you, though I don't think they win a national title. 855-212-4227. Which team in college football would you say has the most pressure on them as we enter the 2024 season? You can also tweet me, Ryan_Hickey, and the number 3. In addition to calling 855-212-4227. We'll get your thoughts. And also when we return, the first weekend, mostly, every big name now is off the board. So let's just call it a wraps here. NBA free agency is over. I want to play a little game with you. For better or for worse, which teams improved in free agency and which teams did not? Play that game when we do return. It's Ryan Hickey with right here on the Infinity Sports Network.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Celebrate July 4th with the hottest deals at Lowe's. Right now, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for $10. And buy 2, get 1 free on select paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop these deals before they're gone because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Annuals offer in-store only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Paint. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details while supplies last.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Do you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes? Good news. There's a new way out. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. Call U.S. Tax Shield, A+ rated with the BBB. 800-391-5063 for your free consultation, and let U.S. Tax Shield protect you from the IRS.
Charlotte Realtors can talk till they're blue in the face about Gaston County, and they won't scratch the surface of what Moss Realty knows. Moss Realty has been serving Gaston County and the surrounding counties for over 25 years. Owner Warren and his team know the quality of life this side of the river. When it's your time to buy or sell a home, trust the real Gaston County experts at Moss Realty. They'll use their personal knowledge of the community to help you find your perfect home. Connect with them at 704-865-5555 or online at mossrealty.com.
We interrupt you with breaking news live from the Pepsi Wild Cherry Aisle.
I've never seen anything like this. The bold, refreshing, and bursting with cherry deliciousness of Pepsi Wild Cherry is, well, let's just say everyone is getting wild.
Pepsi Wild Cherry. Go ahead, get wild.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 800-527-4903. That's 800-527-4903. 800-527-4903. Again, 800-527-4903.
Paid for by Airtime Media. Advertisement sponsored by Allied Injury Group, not available in all states.
This important message from Allied Injury Group reminds you that if you or someone you love was injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, you deserve financial compensation for your medical expenses, lost wages, pain, and suffering. Don't rely on insurance companies to look out for you. If you haven't spoken to an attorney, call our legal experts now. Work accident, truck accident, collision with an uninsured driver, or a slip and fall. Allied Injury Group has helped clients win hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. They're available 24/7 to take your call and fight for you. Remember, if you or someone you love suffered injuries in an accident that wasn't your fault, like being struck by a drunk driver, a collision with an 18-wheeler, were a victim of workplace negligence or more, get the financial compensation you deserve. Call Allied Injury Group for a free consultation now.
Call 800-894-6680. That's 800-894-6680. Again, 800-894-6680.
Coming up Monday morning on the Mac and Bone Show, we welcome Bone back to the show. We check up on the progress of any Miles Bridges action, and we recap the sports weekend. Sports Radio 92.7 WFNZ.
Eastern, 8:40 p.m. Pacific. That's when we will give those to you. Glad I did not give Italian time. That was the one thing I did not. Well, actually, there's a few. Honestly, look, I don't want to complain. I'm not going to complain. There were a few things I did not like about my trip to Italy. One of them was the time change. Being 6 hours ahead kind of stinks, just because you're just so, in terms of trying to keep up with what's going on here, right, in the States, it's almost impossible because you're ahead, right? So like by the time like news starts breaking, whether it's sports or your friends wake up, like it's, depending on the day, what they're doing, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Italian time versus here, when it's like 8 or 9 in the morning. That's on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, it's obviously even earlier. And so like you're so delayed where there's just such a small window. And because like, at least the way we did our trip, like we were traveling so much where it's like a day trip to Rome or a day trip to Florence or a day trip to Venice. Like I'm just exhausted by the time I get back. So like I'm in bed, like knocked up like 11 p.m. And so like there's like basically an 8-hour window that I have to talk to friends, talk to my girlfriend, keep up with what's going on. I was, there during the middle of NBA free agency. So seeing who's signing, seeing, who's going where, like it was tough. That 6-hour time difference was rough. Couldn't watch my Mets at all. I wouldn't be able to even stay up before first pitch. It'd be like 1 a.m. there locally. It was rough. It was tough. There was one thing, I'll get to it a little bit later on in the show. There was one deal breaker for me where I don't know if I would ever travel international again because of this one thing. I'll tell you what that is here a little bit later on in the show, but do want to get your thoughts here about college football, about stuff that's going on right now in the States. I think Ohio State, speaking of states, has the most pressure on them in 2024 to win. There's no school, I think, with more pressure, to repeat a word, to win a national title than Ohio State. I think there are two teams that this year is championship or bust. It's Ohio State and Georgia. But the Buckeyes, with the talent they've accumulated this offseason, with the guys they have returning, I think Ohio State has the most pressure on them of any team in college football here in 2024. 855-212-4227. 855-212-4227. Jack is calling from Florida. What's up, Jack?
Hey, Ryan. I just want to let you know I love your show. I'd like to catch you whenever I can. I'm traveling right now, but I just caught you talking about Jay Harbaugh, right?
Yep.
Well, being an avid Ohio State fan and an alum, I know how we had 17 wins in the last 20-some years. And we pretty much own them through, in fact, the last 4 or 5 coaches have a winning record. You play Madden. I know you're a younger guy. I know you play Madden. I'll tell you what, I play too. Let's hook up. You and I will play $1,000. I'll bet you $1,000. I will bet you $1,000 I will win, but I'll bet 10,000. I'll give you 10,000 if you win, and I'll only take 1,000 if I win. But here's the catch: you got to give me every offense and defensive play. Now, are you willing to make that bet? You show me every offense and defensive play you're going to do. I'll give you $10,000 if you win, and I'll take $1,000 if I win. The point I'm trying to make is that Pop Warner, at high school,
hold on, Jack,
college and the pros,
look,
if you know the offense,
are we really talking about this still?
Yeah, we still are, because look, 4 years it took. 4 years it took for the COVID hamburger gate to come to fruition. December 20th, the letter of accusation came out. 3 months, as you know, the rule.
All right, Jack, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you for listening, man. I'm going to let you go because we're not going down this road, not today. You're a big fan, so I'm sure you heard back in November, back in December, back in January. I am with you, Jack, in the sense of what Michigan did. I think that I've been on record. I think they should have been ineligible for the postseason. With the cheating allegations, with not even allegations, with the proof they've had, I think Michigan, I think eventually their title will be taken away. But we've talked about that a lot, and I'm ready to move. Honestly, I'm ready to move on. The NCAA eventually will investigate. It's going to probably take another decade for any sort of punishment. I put that in air quotes because the game's already been played. Even if you want to vacate the title, no one's going to forget all of a sudden who won this national championship. We're just not getting into the cheating scandal again. Michigan was not cheating when they played Ohio State. They won that game in November. Looking ahead now, Ohio State, I think in part because Michigan won this previous national title, they have more pressure on them. Like having your hated rival not only beat you 3 years in a row, but win a national championship only adds, I think, the pressure onto Ohio State, on top of the great recruiting classes they've had, on top of Ohio State under Ryan Day consistently coming so close, getting to a national championship game, being a missed field goal away from, or I guess I should say a made field goal away from winning a national title 2 years ago. They have gotten so close. That, Michigan winning a title, the way they've attacked it and won, if you will, the transfer portal, everything is there for Ohio State right now lined up for them to win a national championship in 2024. They, by far, have the most pressure on them. That's what I want to talk about, not rehash things we've talked about ad nauseum months ago about cheating scandals of Michigan that have come to light. Scott's calling from Houston. What's up, Scott?
I just want to say, first off, I've never heard anyone complain about not being able to watch the Mets as they're in one of the most beautiful countries on earth. Good job there, buddy. That's a new one.
Yeah.
And also, I just want to say, I think the pressure, if we're talking about pressure, the Texas A&M fan base is about had it. And I think there's no one with so much pressure on his shoulders like this new coach up in College Station. I'll hang up and listen.
I hear you, Scott. A few things there. Number one, you got a new coach, Mike Elko. And I think in college, I know, look, you could say, you can remake a team in 1 year with the transfer portal. College, you need time to allow the coach to get his guys in. Mike Elko comes from Duke. That Duke style of playing tough, hard-nosed defense, grind it out, win in the trenches, that style, if that's what Mike Elko wants to run and how he wants to win games, it's going to take a few recruiting cycles to get those kind of players to College Station. Number one. So you can't judge him or you can't put pressure on him right out of the gate. In 2024, he has to get his guys in there. That's first and foremost. Number two, look, I get Texas A&M fans want to win. I want to win every single year as a Penn State fan. I understand that. But there also has to be a reality of look where A&M is right now. The Jimbo Fisher, forget about the hire for a second, because when he was hired in 2017, fine. You hired a coach, you could say Florida State was on the decline, but still was, close enough coming off the national title where in the moment, I would have said it was a good hire. The problem for A&M was that massive extension they gave him when the LSU job opened up and doubled down on what was a bad investment. And you brought in, continued then to fuel a guy in Jimbo Fisher that was not very good as a coach, who used NIL to bring in the highest rate of recruiting class ever, not based on fit, not based on running the offense he wants to run, but based on just coming in and paying them so much money, where we saw in a year or two, most of those guys left. So you